Hey guys,
Hey
what's
guys,
going
what's up?
on?
What's up?
What's going on? Welcome back to another live sessions for Table for Four. Well, we're back on the podcast again. We're talking about different stories and topics in the headlines for the week and everything else in between. What do you guys want to talk about today? Oh, but don't forget, a new episode premiered this morning. You guys can go check it out. If you want to check out all the latest episodes, check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, so many different platforms. This past episode that we just premiered talked about the TED Talk that we use as an inspiration for our episode.
Yep.
Presenter Christian Nguyen was one of the people that inspired our episode. So if you have a chance, go check that out. So what do we want to talk about for this week? So recently in the news, we're talking about Bruce Willis's diagnosis. So he just celebrated his 67th or 68th birthday. And apparently, from his follow up from last year, May, he had a diagnosis called aphasia. Now, aphasia, if you're not familiar with it, it really is a diagnosis focusing on the loss of speech, the loss of language and understanding language, comprehending language. And it usually is. It's usually it could be either one or two things. It can either be due to a injury to the front of the head, or it could be caused something by genetics, because that's something we're very familiar with in terms of that. But the problem is with this diagnosis, he had aphasia from last March. It has now been developed into frontotemporal dementia. So now thinking about this, it's so hard to think about his most recent diagnosis because now it's a follow-up from between Alzheimer's and dementia, and it changes the person completely. So if you want to bring up a clip about the news for Bruce Willis's most recent diagnosis from CNN.
Birthday to Bruce Willis. The actor turned 68 on Sunday.
Happy birthday, dear Dad.
Willis's family announced last month that he has been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. There is no cure for that. His wife Emma said as she celebrates her husband's birthday, she is also grieving him.
So today is my husband's birthday. I have started the morning by crying. As you can see by my swollen eyes and snotty nose, I just think it's important that you see all sides of this. I always get this message, or people always tell me that, oh, like, you're so strong. I don't know how you do it. I'm not given a choice.
She ended her message talking about how hard it was to put together this video of all these touching memories with him. But she said, as much as I do it for myself, I do it for you, meaning everyone, because I know how much you love my husband.
So just a sad, I just think about it in sense, like we've had experience with that with our own family. My grandfather, who was also afflicted with Alzheimer's, and his wife, my aunt, also was afflicted with dementia. So we are very, very familiar with the different sides of dementia. It completely changes a person. And, you know, it is a tremendous impact on the family. As you can see from the video, his wife was grieving, literally grieving, because she knows that with this diagnosis, which is not treatable, it's not treatable, and it's no cure to it, as the reporter mentioned before, that there is no cure for this. So that's really the sad part about it, because there's no turning back from there. That's the really sad part. What do you think about how this diagnosis will affect the family?
It's gonna be hard. They gotta prepare themselves. You know, it's unfortunately it's something that can't be undone right now. You know, this is a permanent thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's, I guess it's non-surgical also. So it's at this point at his age, I guess live your best life.
I'm living my best life.
Live your best life.
I mean, he's had a good life, though.
Yeah, he's gonna be forever known. You know, forever remembered.
Bruce Willis, he living his best life. He is famous, man. He aight.
Exactly.
He aight. But just going back to how aphasia is the type of disorder that it really affects the way you communicate. It impacts the way you speak, the way you communicate, as well as you writing and understanding both spoken and written language. And that's from the Mayo Clinic. And like I mentioned before, that aphasia usually happens suddenly after a stroke or even after a head injury. But the point of this is that now from the aphasia that he was diagnosed back in last March, now has been progressing to frontal temporal dementia. So with that, it is a gradual disease. It is really progressive, and it's degenerative, and meaning that when it's degenerative, that means that it's more permanent damage. So the severity of each of these areas of the brain is affected. Again, it depends on the person, it depends on the age, it depends on if there's any family history, if there's anything to that, or if there's any damage that was done maybe by injury or by genetics or any of that sort. But really the treatment for it is really speech therapy. That's really what it is to really have reminders, doing language therapy, doing speech therapy, and just continually practicing and relearning speech and relearning language is really only the treatment for that. Because practicing, you never gets old, right? You're constantly talking, you're constantly writing and things like that. If you practice in that, practicing your speech, maybe they can maintain some of it, but not all of it, but and again, when listening to his wife, Emma, talking about how she's literally grieving because she's literally seeing her husband progressively lose himself, which is super sad, super, super sad. But I want to go over just some pictures and some graphs to just kind of briefly talk about the differences about aphasia and aphasia. So I know it gets a little complicated with the words, but I'll go over it real quickly with you in terms of the differences between the two. And it's also different in terms of the spelling as well. Excuse me. You have some water over there? Let me get some water, kid.
Some water?
I need some water to give this thirst over here. Wow, I'm not thirsty.
It's up on the screen.
Awesome. So the spelling that we have between the two is APHAGIA. So if you see it on the left side meaning that this is the condition that has a difficulty of swallowing. So with this condition, if you don't see it on the screen, that's okay. When we're there, we're thinking about this medically, right? And then there's a difference between the next spelling, which is aphasia, APHASIA. So this is the partial or total loss of language due to brain damage. So thinking about those and the differences, if there's any point in the brain that's being affected, it's going to affect everything else. So if you can't communicate, if you can't understand language, it's going to also affect the way you eat, the way you drink, the way you do things. So it's not that it's so much different in a sense of how it's being treated, but it's really the approach and really trying to understand how did this happen and why did this happen. And I think we really don't know why this happened. A lot of this is really due to, it could be so many different factors. We don't know if it's age. We don't know if it's really an incident, if he had a stroke, because a lot of those things.
Do they have like a root cause of what causes dementia? Or is one of those unknowns?
It's not that it's unknown. It's just like it's an idiopathic meaning they really don't know the origin or really know the foundation of the cause of this particular disease. But they only could think about, is it in the family? Is there genetics? Is there anything in particular that would really be the cause for that? It's the same thing with seizures. With us, we have no family history of seizures in our family. So for our son to have seizures and for him to be diagnosed with epilepsy, we had to go dive deep and figure out what is really the cause of this. So when we found out later on that there is a genetic mutation that really caused to having him lead to that diagnosis. So same thing with dementia. We really don't know the really sources of it. I mean, there's lots of research, a lot of medical information that can be out there to kind of guide you with that. But for his particular case, I just want to go over a picture of the brain real quick. If you just see, just in the parts where you'll see, so it said frontal temporal. So if you see in the red area, which is highlighted, the frontal lobe is really responsible for thinking, speaking, memory, and movement. So that's a huge huge part of how the person functions on a daily basis. And temporal is the hearing, the learning, and feelings, which is the yellow area, which you see here. So if he has a combination of the two, my man he's destined to not do a lot of productive things in his life. So this is literally.
So he'll lose all these.
They'll
deteriorate quicker.
These are the areas that are being affected by the frontal temporal lobe.
Mm-hmm.
So between the red areas and the yellow areas, these are the main areas of which are being affected by the dementia. Now, there's different parts of dementia, and there's different areas. There's Bronkers, there's Weineikers. I know I'm saying them wrong, but I know I could spell that for you. But I'm gonna definitely get that information for you. But there's different. No, you know why? It's the same thing with like medication. I could look at the medication, I would pronunciate it wrong, but I know what it does, and I know what it's not supposed to do. But these are the two areas in particular that Bruce Willis has been afflicted with. So it's really sad because, again, it really changes the person and how they function in the world. And him being so young, he's 68. He's relatively young. But here we also have some of the other areas of just kind of understanding the different types of dementia. There's Alzheimer's, frontal temporal dementia, Lewy body dementia, and vascular dementia. So these are really the kind of the different categories when it comes to dementia. So Bruce Willis is the one that's been with frontal temporal dementia. And again, it really affects the behavioral, the emotional. He's having difficulty planning, organizing.
Mm-hmm.
There's other impulsive behaviors. And a lot of it is, they say a lot of flatness. Flatness meaning there's not really a lot of emotions that can come from a person. They're very affective, and they're just not really like, just very warm.
Just like mellow, almost like
very mellow. And it also comes with movement issues, meaning, again, with those two different areas, one in the red and one in the yellow, we're talking about speaking, we're talking about talking, memory, movement. So a lot of it can deal with problems with balance, problems with, walking, and really having shaky hands, which is also something that's familiar with, have you heard about, not necessarily with epilepsy, but it's also with Michael J. Fox, who's been afflicted with, do you remember what it was?
He was Parkinson's?
Parkinson's, exactly. So with a lot of the shakiness, it's a lot of neurons, the important parts of the brain that are being affected. All these neurons are misfiring and whatever the case may be. So again, it's making all that difficulty of speech, difficulty understanding, communicating, writing. Mm-hmm. My man's an actor. Yeah. My man's an actor.
But he ain't acting this out. He's going through it.
No, but that's the thing. When they first was diagnosed, he literally just like, I gotta retire. Because how is he going to remember his lines? How is he supposed to act in a scene?
Right. It affects his speech.
It affects everything. And that's his livelihood. Not having the capacity to remember things, and hearing and learning and having different feelings and emoting, that just takes away his livelihood. But I mean, again, it's just super sad to hear, this diagnosis from him. But his wife really is trying to be strong, and just like a lot of other families, it's difficult. It's very, very difficult when you have somebody that is that's suffering from this. And there's really, again, the only thing that we can do is tell you, continue, do the best that you can. Live your best life. Tell them you love them every day. Practice your speech. Go to your doctors. Take the medication that you need. But that's really the importance of just giving support for everybody in your family. But I want to talk about the next topic. Talking about how somebody else was afflicted. Marriage is not as solid as you thought. Here's the introduction to this, a short, brief analysis of this. Not analysis, but just a short synopsis of this. So, Porsche billionaire, Wolfgang Porsche, has filed divorce from his wife, Claudia Porsche, saying that the illness has led to the changes in her personality, which is talking about dementia. I don't know why you laughing for.
My man trying to annul the marriage.
Yo, they've been married for about, they've been together for a minute.
He's trying to avoid that marriage certificate so she won't get anything.
What?
I think those are one of the provisions. If you can prove that she has like an illness, it is grounds to divorce, like immediate divorce, to annul this marriage certificate.
Do you see my face right now? So, till death do us part, in sickness and in health. That don't matter. Yep.
Nope.
You're telling me that
if I can prove, if I can prove, in New York State, if I can prove that you're having issue, like you're having like psychotic breakdown, or you're crazy or psycho, or something, or like let's say we haven't slept with each other for more than over a year, those are grounds for to annul the marriage certificate.
I need documentations of that.
All right, just keep talking. I'll find it.
Wait a minute. So you can have your marriage annulled if your partner is crazy, but this is not the case in this particular. This is what, like, why are you trying to confuse one thing with another? I'm confused. In sickness and in health, through death do us part. I know that with a lot of divorce rates have been up, things can change. Absolutely. Nobody's arguing with that. But my thing is that you've been together for a long time. Y'all been together for like 15, 20, 25 years, 30 years. You guys are together. You've seen from the beginning to the end how the relationship now is slowly deteriorating. Because why? Because she has dementia. So because now you found it? Oh my Lord. What are the grounds for an annulment?
All right, hold on.
You about to share this right now?
I'm going to share this right now.
Yo, I can't.
In New York, these are the grounds for an annulment. Number one.
You're sharing that right now?
No, I'm just going to read them out loud.
You're going to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number one or both spouses were under the age of 18 at the time of the marriage.
Okay. That's
Number two, one
sense.
or both spouses were unable to consent to the marriage due to a mental incapacity.
Okay, but they were married already.
Okay, and then 3, either spouse is physically unable to have sexual intercourse. 4, either spouse was incurably mentally ill for at least 5 years.
I didn't know that.
Yep, or either spouse obtained a marriage consent by duress, coercion, or fraud. Those are the 5. So that's a mental capacity.
So that means to me,
one man could annul the marriage quick. 5 years.
Wow.
So if I can prove to you that you've been mentally unstable for 5 years, for the last 5 years,
through no fault of my own.
no fault of your own. So you ain't getting $1.
Wow. So do you think that's the reason why? Because he's a billionaire.
Well, it depends on the state.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
It depends. Those are the provisions of New York state law.
Right.
For an annulment.
It could be different in another provision state. In a different state. Not even in a different state. I mean, in another country, in the UK, right. Europe, whatever the case may be. But so you mean to me that it's okay for him to be like, deuces, I don't want to be married with you anymore because of no fault through your own that you have dementia. So I'm just going to leave you and abandon you at the time of your most need.
Yeah, but the fact that he claimed that her personality is different. What do you expect? What did he expect?
I have no idea.
What did he expect from this? He wants out the marriage.
Oh,
this guy. God. Saying that the illness has led to changes in her personality.
All right. Okay. So what is your response? So I'll ask the question. If you were mentally incapacitated, if you had an injury that led to you, you know, a stroke, or you had a car accident or whatever, and you had a head injury that changed your personality, that led to you not being capable of your own, would you want me to leave you in that state? Wouldn't you want me to take care of you?
Of course I want you to take care of me.
Just so
but there's people out there be like, yo, she a vegetable. I can't have sex with her. She's no good to me.
Okay.
There are people out there like that.
You're not going to like my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Sex is not the only important part of marriage. It is an important part, but it's not the only part.
Right. It's one of the parts.
It's one of the parts.
As to fulfill your
obligations.
Obligations.
Is that the word you were going to use?
Obligations of marriage.
You better not even come with me with that mess about obligations, okay? Like I'm about to go take this marriage and go take a walk. Like seriously, that is completely unfair. That's completely unfair. So would you want me to take care of you?
Of course I want you to take care of me.
As a future nurse, you wouldn't want me to take care of you.
Of course. You take care of me now. Of course.
I got to take care of you when you're
good,
and I got to take care of you when things are bad.
As long as you take care of me, at the end, you'll be rewarded.
What's my reward?
If I ever die, that freaking life insurance is coming your way.
I can't.
You get my 401k, my pension.
love, but it's not about that.
You know, so you're gonna be rich.
So I'm saying I will be compensated.
You'll be compensated lovely.
No, you can't.
For your time.
No, you can't look at it in that sense. You can't only look at it in that sense. That's a little unfair. So okay, so
my man is worth 20 billion euros.
That's a lot of money, bro. But the thing is, they're getting. Well, she's technically now getting around the clock care. Somebody's always watching out for her. She has family that is there. So what happens now that he's going to divorce her? She's not going to be aware of it. She's not going to know. She's not going to know any better. Is that really what it is? So my man is like, well,
it's a sad situation.
I put my hands up. I'm done with her.
I got better things to do.
I got better things to do because
he could hire people to take care. It's exactly what's going to happen.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the sad situation when it comes to to this particular.
And they've been together almost since 2007. So that's almost.
Yeah, they've been together for a minute.
Yeah. But they've been married since 2019.
There it is. Okay. Jackpot. Now we found the root cause.
So 19, so you have 5 years to claim instability? so 20, 21, 22, 23.
Okay, but that's New York. We're talking now. I'm assuming if it's euros, I'm assuming he's in Europe. I'm assuming he's in Europe. Yeah. So the bylaws might be different over there. But okay, so you asked me the question now.
What question is that?
The question is, if I was to ever get sick, would you take care of me?
Of course.
Why?
Because I love you.
Because with me, you ain't gonna get compensated. You would be compensated in the eyes of the Lord.
Eyes of the Lord.
But that's about it. My life is not worth as much as yours.
I got 2 kids right there. You gave me 2 kids.
Okay.
The legacy continues.
The legacy continues.
Continues.
But let's just know you can have a legacy without children. Please.
Yes.
For our friends, our family out there, you can continue a legacy that doesn't necessarily include children. What I'm saying is, if I'm going to take care of you, you're going to take care of me in sickness and in health and everything like that. Something like this is a situation just tells me that their marriage was not as solid as you thought. That's what I'm saying. It's sad. But let's put it on the flip side. As family members, we know how difficult it is and was and could be to take care of somebody that has that diagnosis, that has dementia, that has Alzheimer's. That is a lot of pressure on the other family members and a lot of obligations that come along with it.
That's if they want to do it, because...
No, listen, hold on. We have to put it on the flip side. We have to understand where they're coming from as well, right? My man is 78 years old. You think he's in a position to be taking care of anybody?
No. You can hire somebody.
He can hire somebody.
If they have kids, they'll be like, I'm not bringing it to my house. They're going to be like, yo, just put it in a home or something.
Yo, that's so messed up. That's just, that attitude, that's so messed up. That was something that's similar that happened to your family. But what I'm saying is...
That happens a lot. My mom works in a nursing home, and that's exactly what happens a lot.
That's exactly what happens.
There's a lot of elderly people in there. They just get thrown in there, and nobody comes to visit them ever.
And that is how their mentality, their mental state...
I keep telling my mom, keep it up. You know where you going.
What? I know you say that jokingly, right?
Yeah, jokingly. I always ask her, how much is a room? Oh, it's like 16,000 for the year or something like that. I was like, all right, so start saving up.
Because we're not paying for your stay.
I'm like, how much is it?
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is that's a lot of pressure for the other family members to be obligated to take care of them. Now, if it's your husband or wife, are you obligated to take care of them? Kind of, I guess. But then for them to say, well, I don't want to do that anymore. Is that a cop out? Is it like I'm putting in, reverse card on that? I don't understand how that.
My man dropped the I don't know, man.
I don't what do you say to that? That's what I'm saying. So it's very difficult to kind of just laugh at it and be like, oh, you should do that, you should do this. But again, you have to see it on the flip side. From the person that's taking care of that individual, it can't be easy for them on that part to be like, to see their partner deteriorate and to see, how much work and everything comes into it. But that comes from a loving, relationship. You're seeing it from beginning to end, or, if they've had a good amount of time together and all of a sudden she has a personality change that's due to dementia, why would you just turn around and, turn your back on her now?
It's
sad.
Yeah, but look at this guy's picture. Look at this guy. This guy look like he look like
well, say it.
he look like he's plotting something.
Oh my! What is he plotting?
I don't know. He just look like he's plotting something.
You know what I'm saying? You make it seem like he's like this evil guy from a spy movie or something like that. Where he plotting? What he plotting? He's not plotting. But guys, what are your thoughts about this story and this situation? Like, if you're if unfortunately if your loved one was getting ill, had an injury, had anything to could have kind of incapacitate, change their personalities, would you continue taking care of them? Right? My answer for me, simple. Absolutely.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely. That's for me. But then other people might not be so easy to do that. So I would hate to have somebody just put you on the side and be like, yeah, I'm done with you. I want to divorce you because you're mentally unstable, or however the case. That's a little rough. I don't know. But let us know in the comments. Cause we I'm at a loss right now. Cause I'll be mad. You trying to divorce me? I'm like, I took care of you for all this time, and then all of a sudden you want to just pew, 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 put me to the side because I have a little personality change. Put me out the pasture? Like, come on now, that's crazy.
So what's gonna happen now in the future? Like when you start courting people, let me see your medical history.
I need your genetics.
Your medical history.
Let me
Nah,
see if there's
dementia, Alzheimer's. Nah, I can't. I'm sorry,
I can't deal with that.
I can't take care of you.
Those are the type of things. That's the type of thing that's going to be going in to dating. They need to see Social Security. They need to see.
Let me see your DNA sequence.
Let me see your DNA sequence.
Genetic code.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's so.
There was an episode like that of Black Mirror where they were supposed to be incompatible before they have sex. It was an old episode. I think season 1 or 2.
How you just jump from one to the other?
No, we still talking about like the whole like.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. But
having a medical card too.
You need to complete your story though, because you need to have a little bit more substance to follow up with it.
I just exactly what I said. I said there's a story like that in Black Mirror.
What season?
Season 1.
Okay.
Season 1.
Okay. So that's what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not fun. Anywho. So our next topic we want to talk about is the 4-day work week. As you can see, I have my scrubs on. We have our medical hats on today.
Dr. Dre today. So what are your thoughts on a 4-day work week? What are your thoughts on a 4-day school week? So, well, technically, what would be the work week? Would be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It depends, because
right?
when I used to work at the bank, I used to do or for corporate. I used to do when I was going to school. I was doing a 3-day work week, 12-hour shifts.
12-hour shifts, right?
And then I also did the 4-day work week, 10-hour shifts.
10-hour shifts, yeah. What are your thoughts about that? Like,
I like it.
You prefer
me
it?
Personally, like when I did the 3 days, I was working Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I had a day off in between, weekends off, loved it.
Right.
When I had a 4-day work week, I liked it too, because yes, it sucks you're there for an extra 2 hours out of your day instead of the 8. You're there for 10, and then you have a 3-day work week.
Why does it suck? I'm so confused.
It's a 3-day work week. You're there longer, But yeah, you're making these hours up, but now you have a 3-day work week. It's technically like 3.5 because depending on the shift that you work.
I get technicalities, my bro, my dude. You either there work 4 days, you're there 3 days. Which one did it work for you? Was it more?
I get.
What do you mean?
I get they want more people to have a better lifestyle, a better home life.
You mean life outside
of work?
Right. Okay.
And in certain parts of the world, they do have 4-day work weeks.
Okay.
I think Canada's one of them.
So why can't we implement it here?
Because you have a lot of labor laws and you have a lot of union contracts that don't allow that.
Mm-hmm.
So all the work to right states, that don't have any unions, they'll probably will benefit off of it. A lot of employees will benefit, but those that have contracts with the union, with the city or the state, contractually, you can't do the 4-day work week.
Contractually,
yeah, they have to rechange the word, the lingo, and
all right. So, isn't there a possibility for that to change? If it means that you'll have,
but the parties have to agree to it,
right? Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's something that's going to be more productive, if you're going to have a better work week and you're going to have a better home life, that's going to allow you to have your personal space, your
come to work
health,
more faster.
Work more
Not faster. I mean, come to work.
What do you mean?
I mean, come to work like with a clear mind, more happier.
Right. That's the overall
quality of life.
Your quality of life is different if you're trying to if you're condensing.
Listen,
work.
You want quality of life? Legalize marijuana in New York. A lot of people will be happy. You'll get a lot of happy employees.
This conversation went left real quick.
That's another topic for another day. You
can't be bringing up.
That's another topic for another day.
That has not. Okay.
But I'm saying if you want happy employees,
that has nothing to do with it. It could be a part of it, but it's not the central idea behind it.
Of course, they just want more people to have a better quality of life instead of being at work 5 days a week.
Okay,
I get it. I get it.
Are you going to still pay the people the same amount of money? You're going to pay them more money? You're going to say less money?
Like the same money.
The hours doesn't change, right?
Yeah,
the
hour rate doesn't change.
Okay.
You're still getting your 40 hours of work a week.
All right. I want to pull up a clip because you're over here talking about marijuana. I got no business talking about this in the work week. You want people to be happier? I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Exactly. You want people to be happy?
Give me more money. Give me a higher pay rate. Give me a better lunch benefits. Give me a longer lunch hour. That's what I'm looking for. No, I don't need
a lunch hour or a longer break. You want like an hour and a half lunch break?
Well, break it up for me. Give me 45 minutes at this time. If you're
listen, listen.
I'm listening.
I'm in between. Because
man, please.
Because out of the 8-hour workday, how many hours are you really working at work?
Me? Out of 8 hours, I'm working 7. I'm on my feet.
Certain days or all the time?
All the time, bro.
Okay, if I have an 8-hour day, I'm doing about 3, 4, maybe 5 hours of work for work.
That's you, bro. I'm on my feet all day. All day. Monday, I had a 10-hour day. I was on my feet all day. I had my lunch break, 45 minutes. I sat my butt down. I needed it. Between crying kids.
Well, we came back from vacation, so after being not working for 2 weeks, it's tough to come back to work.
It's tough to come back to work, but I was already tired. I was already done by the time after my lunch. And then after lunch, I had even more patience. I was over it. I was over it. So I need a break. I need the break.
Here's the video.
And this is for the government, and I'm protesting. I want 3 days off of school because I've been tired of school lately, and I've been dreaming for 3 days off. 2 days is not enough from school. I need 3 days off. I need time to just play and go with Nene and stay home and do whatever I want outside. Hey, I'm Brody, and this is for the government.
Right on, Brody.
Brody has the right frame of mind. My man Brody.
Man wants 3 days off instead of 2 days for a protest. He wants 3 days off. I feel like we're talking to our kids right now. They hate going to school now.
No, not well.
They want more days off. Come on. No. Working, yes. 4-day work weeks for school. 5 days a week. I'm sorry. I don't want your ass sitting at home all day doing nothing. Sorry.
Sorry. No. Okay. Here's the thing. If adults can be just as productive in a 4-day week, why can't kids be just as productive in a 4-day week? I think it's plausible. Me personally, I would like the 4-day week for school and work.
Well, our kids kind of have like a 4-day work school week.
Right.
It's like a 4.5.
Right. Because they have half days every
Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. They have half days.
But they're in school from like 8 to 4:30.
Yeah. They have long days.
Yeah.
But the question is, do you think that it would lead to more production? We have another clip from another presenter if you guys want to pull that up. Yeah.
Less stressed, value their jobs more, and have better lives outside of work. In most cases, they are as productive in 4 days as they are in 5.
See?
The secret sauce is work reorganization, cutting out the least productive activities. Meetings are a prime target.
I hate
Companies can also see benefits through lower turnover and a higher quality applicant pool. The 4-day week is a down payment on a new way to live and work. And yes, we're going to need government help if we're going to move beyond the innovative companies that already see its virtues. But as the 3-day weekend spreads, we can realize everyone deserves a right to free time. The 4-day week can benefit workers.
See, it's a valid point. The question is, if you take out all the unnecessary things in a work day, then you are more likely to be more productive and be more focused and get stuff done when you're not lollygallying and figuring out what to do for the rest of the day.
If I'm a manager, I'd be like, I don't want to hear that you don't got no time. You better come to work refreshed and ready to go.
On the 5 day,
on the 4-day week, on the 4-day week, either one. On the 4-day week, I'm be like, bro,
here it is.
I don't want to hear you got no time.
That's why you ain't a manager.
I don't want to hear that.
You don't run things.
I don't want to hear that.
As a former manager, my old company, I was in charge of 10 people where I managed their calendars, their work schedules in terms of getting out in the field and things of that manner. I respected people's time. That was basically what it was. If our work starts at 8 to 4, I don't expect less than that. I don't expect you before. I don't expect you after. If you expect me to stay, then I expect you to stay. Fair is fair. If you want to start late, all right, you're going to stay late. That's how I feel. And it's just a matter of managing time, taking out all the unnecessary stuff. If it's meetings is one of them, you don't need a meeting. You don't need one.
But then now you got to think about it like this.
It's organization.
It is organization restructuring.
I'm telling you right now, there is not a lot of good managers out there that can't manage people, can't manage time, can't manage time schedules, workload, nothing. And I'm shouting you out. There's not a lot of people out there that would admit that. They're saying that I'm not a great manager. Yeah, you're not a great manager.
There's benefits. There's pros and cons.
Absolutely.
To this. The pros, better quality of life. The cons, companies will start losing more money because now if there's work that needs to be done during those days that they're off.
What do you mean they're losing money?
They're going to have to pay overtime for the guy to come in to do work. And there's going to be plenty of people that love making overtime. I love making overtime. Who doesn't? There's extra money in my pocket.
So how are they losing money?
The company's going to lose money because now instead of having the person here on a 5-day work week.
She made it very clear. It's a down payment for higher quality workers. If you got to pay a little bit more to keep good people, you better pay your people. Pay your people because you keep them. And they'll work better for you because if you're giving them the
but there's a lot of employees that don't appreciate their workers.
That's another thing too.
And people are not paid what they're worth.
They're not great jobs. That there's not a lot of great bosses out there that appreciate their workers. There's a lot of managers that are out there that are not managing properly and don't know how to manage time, manage people, and not a people. They're not a people person.
Right.
I've dealt with it, and I've seen it myself.
Man, I still deal with it.
Well, I mean,
I work in a place where smart or stupid, we all get paid the same.
Damn.
I hate to say it, but it's true.
On that note,
I know my worth. Shit.
I don't know what to say. I don't know how to respond.
This is what happens when you work for the state.
Oh
the state
my
of New York.
God. You know what it is too? We have to kind of, in the positions that we're in the type of jobs that we are constantly we're either constantly alone, working independently, or we're constantly being overloaded with too many people. It's one or the other. That's how I feel. I don't know if that's how you feel.
Yeah, well, yeah, because right now I feel like that sometimes because sometimes, yes, sometimes it does feel good when they want you to come into work because they know that you're a good worker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you kind of get compensated for it. You know, they'll call you all the time to come in because they know you're dependable, reliable.
Right, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to like trying to figure out when working independently, because I know there's a lot of people that work independently, they work at home, and then you have others that are constantly like me. I'm constantly with people all the time.
Well, that's the industry you chose,
right? I'm okay with that, but then I want some time by myself. I don't want to see nobody.
Then you probably need to go to another office.
Go away. I don't want to see nobody. But that's for me. I don't need like the
point of the game is
a whole day to recover. I just give me 20 minutes. Give me my lunch break.
The more you level up in life, the less you do.
level up.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how the pay scale works.
Man, just like the billionaire.
Exactly, that's how the pay scale. That's how the pay scale works. The more you do, the less you get paid. The less you do, the more you get paid.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
There's a balance.
That's no balance. He's just gonna toss his wife to the side and be like, "Well, it was nice knowing you."
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
I'm gonna live my last remaining years without you.
Oh my Lord, it's so messed up. But guys, let us know. Tell us in the comments, what are your thoughts about the 4-day work week? What are your thoughts about the 4-day school week? You know, like my man Bryson, was it Bryce or was my man from the video? He was like, yo, he's protesting. Like, I don't want to go to school.
Protesting the 3-day off.
To the government.
Man, you just had spring break, bro.
Exactly. Come on. He's little. He don't even know what real work is. He's little. But the fact that he came up with his parents, I don't know if he probably took the phone without them knowing.
Or he probably told his mom. His mom was like, record it. I need you to record that.
No, I don't. I think it was probably like a genuine thing. She's like, she probably didn't even know he took the phone. He went ahead and recorded himself.
No, he probably like voiced his concerns. And his mom was like, that's too funny. Can you record that, please? And we'd be viral.
Oh my God. You know, that's sad if that's what she really thought. That's a little sad.
But it was funny though. It was funny.
I mean, it was funny, but what I'm saying, the way that you said it,
whoever was the moderator for Instagram and came across that clip is like, yo, this is going live. This is going viral real quick, and threw it up into the queue.
You know what? I can't with you. I really can't with you. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. Like,
also, here's the link to the other side. Boom, boom.
Where's the link? This way.
Here we go.
Don't forget.
There's the QR code for season 4.
Go
on our website.
Check out the latest episodes on that. We're on all the platforms as you can think of. And I don't know if there's anything else to add. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about? If you are interested in coming in the live sessions with us, come with us, have a conversation. You guys can pick the topics and we'll take it from there.
I guarantee you we'll have laughs. We're going to laugh.
Over here talking about we're going to just leave people behind.
Yep.
Because you sick. I'm like, this is messed up.
Listen, I like a 4-day work week. 3 or 4 days, I'm good. I'll give you all my time in 12-hour days. I'll knock it out.
Right. That's the most productive that I can say. And I know
have a nice 4-day week. you have certain jobs that do that.
I know as a future nurse, I already know that
cops do it. Firefighters.
Yep. And I know that it's gonna be tough in the beginning, knowing that I'm working for such long hours and things like that. But I already know, like I already see myself. I'm only working 3 to 4 days a week. That's it. I'll bang it out in 3 days. I'll bang it in 4.
I'll be like, babe, we need an extra income.
Oh,
you work an extra day.
Oh no! You need to stop that.
You work an extra day.
I work to my capacity. I ain't working because you telling me.
I'll be like, babe.
Nah, babe.
You want that new car?
Nah, babe. I don't need a new car. You crazy. But guys, thank you for coming in on our live sessions. Here we talk about everything in the highlights and everything else in between. We hope you guys have an amazing day. Let us know. Share, comment, subscribe. Do all the things you can. Let us know. Leave a review. And we'll see you on the next live session.
Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.